This channel won't survive without your subscription and likes. Help me. Chad thought he had pulled off a brilliant prank. He reached out toward the guard's back, but bam! The next moment, he was sent flying backward as the crowd erupted in laughter. And of course, it was all caught on video. But what happened next completely destroyed him. Let's start from the very beginning. London, in front of Buckingham Palace. The crowd of tourists is bustling, taking photos, chattering. Just another typical day at this iconic location. Amidst all this hustle and bustle, one person stands out. A tall, slim American in his 40s, wearing a cap that says, "Freedom isn't free," huge sunglasses, and a faded t-shirt featuring an eagle. His name is Chad, and he's very confident in his coolness. In one hand, he holds a can of beer, and in the other, a piece of paper folded in 4. Next to him is his friend, short and stocky Jimbo, chuckling. "Come on, man, just stick it on him. Let's see how long he stands there with it." Chad, grinning, unfolds the paper. In big black marker, it reads, "Kick me." His gaze shifts to the motionless British guard standing at the gate. The majestic figure, dressed in a red uniform and a black bearskin hat, seems like the epitome of discipline and severity. Chad steps forward, hiding the paper behind his back. The crowd keeps taking pictures. No one notices him. He's almost at his target. His hand with the note reaches for the guard's back. But then, there's a loud clank. The guard's boot strikes the cobblestones with a sharp sound. His loud, gravelly voice cuts through the air. "Stand back from the guard!" Chad jumps back, almost spilling his beer. The crowd turns to look. Cameras point at him. Jimbo is barely holding in his laughter. Chad's face turns red with embarrassment. He's not used to being humiliated in front of people. A strained smile forms on his face. He decides that he can't just walk away like this. Despite the sudden surge of fear, Chad feels irritation boiling inside him. What the hell? It's just a joke. This guard is nothing more than an actor in a costume. What does he think he is? The crowd settles down, but Chad is still seething from the embarrassment. Jimbo wipes tears of laughter from his eyes. "Dude, that was epic. Did you see how you jumped?" Chad grinds his teeth. He's just a wooden puppet. Thinks he's the King of England or something? He scans the area and spots a street vendor selling sticky notes and souvenir pins with royal symbols. He walks up, buys a few. On one of them, he immediately writes, "I love America." Jimbo's eyes widen. "Are you serious?" "Let's see how long he stands there with this one." Chad responds smugly, winking. He heads toward the guard again, this time more slowly, blending in with the flow of tourists. He stands next to the guard, pretending to admire the sights. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, he brings the sticky note to the guard's back. But before he can do anything, the guard steps forward and turns sharply to face Chad. "Move away from the guard." The guard speaks softly, but there's steel in his voice. In his eyes, there's unyielding authority. Chad freezes. He doesn't know what to do. "Dude, you should go," Jimbo whispers, starting to get worried. But Chad is already too angry. He feels humiliated. Who does this guy think he is, talking to him like that? He steps back, but a new plan begins to form in his mind. Chad decides to take revenge. He steps back a few meters, pretends to talk to Jimbo, but is keeping a sly eye on the guard. He stands motionless. Perfect. Then Chad pretends to be just another tourist. He walks up again, pulls out his phone, and takes a selfie with the guard, acting carefree. At that moment, he slyly pulls out a new sticky note with the words, "I'm with stupid," and tries to sneakily stick it to the guard's back. But he doesn't have time. Suddenly, with lightning reflexes, the guard steps aside and boom! Chad is hit in the chest with the rifle butt. He's thrown back, falling onto the cobblestones, his phone flying from his hands. The crowd gasps. Cameras are rolling. Jimbo stands, mouth agape. The guard, with the same stoic expression, returns to his stance. Chad tries to get up, coughing, clutching his ribs. The crowd laughs. Some people are filming. A palace security guard, a tall man in a sharp black suit, approaches him. "Sir, you need to leave the premises." Chad tries to argue, but notices that police officers are already surrounding him. One of them, a stocky officer, smirks. "No big deal, sir. Just a joke, right?" Chad feels his face burning with humiliation. The crowd of tourists kept laughing and recording as Chad hobbled away from Buckingham Palace. The looks from passers-by were a mix of amusement and disdain. Somewhere behind him, someone with a thick British accent shouted, "Cheers, mate! That was bloody brilliant!" Chad clenched his fists, but there was nothing to say. The pain in his chest from the rifle butt made it hard to even breathe. Laughter echoed behind him. Someone clapped, and a young guy in a hoodie was already grinning as he typed something on his phone. Chad had no idea that in just 15 minutes, he would become a global laughingstock. "Damn Brits," he muttered through gritted teeth and marched away. Viral humiliation. In a cheap hotel room with yellowed wallpaper and a faint musty smell, Chad sat on a creaky bed, blankly staring at his phone. His hair was disheveled, his shirt wrinkled, and his cheek still burned from hitting the pavement. The screen was lighting up with notifications. @UKFails tagged you in a post. @TouristFailsUK uploaded a video. @The Royal Guard memes mentioned you. He opened TikTok. The first video? His humiliation. An American thought it'd be funny to prank a British guard. Karma struck instantly. The footage showed him smirking, reaching for the guard's back. Bam! Chad flew backward, crashed down, his beer splattering all over the cobblestones. On repeat. Sped up, slowed down, remixed with dramatic music, narrated by influencers. 30 million views. Comments. Classic American. Thinks the world revolves around him. That guard is a legend. That's how you handle idiots. Imagine being dumb enough to mess with guys trained to kill. Tea, sir? Maybe you'd like to try again? Chad gripped his phone so hard his knuckles turned white. He opened Twitter. Trending worldwide, #London Guard Smackdown, #YankFails, @prank memes were already flooding the internet. A screenshot of him mid-fall captioned, "We thought you brought tea to London, not spilled it all over the pavement." A gif of him stumbling backward from the guard. Americans when they meet discipline and respect. Photoshops. His face pasted onto a scene from The Avengers, replacing Loki as Thanos says, "You should have gone for the head." Chad was boiling. "It's just the internet. It's just a bunch of losers. It's nothing," he whispered to himself. But he knew it wasn't nothing. His whole body ached, but his ego hurt the most. He shut his phone, tossed it onto the bed, and buried his face in his hands. His heart pounded. How was he supposed to walk around the city now? What if someone recognized him? How could he go home? What if his friends had already seen it? And then his phone buzzed again, a message from his wife. "Are you serious, Chad? I wake up and my entire feed is this circus. We'll talk when you get back." Chad exhaled sharply and closed his eyes. "This isn't over," he muttered. But deep down he knew it was.